Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a full first round mock draft post the Eagles-Saints trade. I thought this would be a good time to mix it up and get a full first round mock on the way. So without further ado, let's get into it. First off, for the Jags at number 1, I'm going to go with Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's a pretty clear pick for them at this point, as with what they did in free agency with their offensive line. And I think he's going to be a good player for them. I like other guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys they could take, but I think Aiden Hutchinson is pretty clear as the one right now. Now at number 2, we have the Detroit Lions. This is a tough one for sure because it's just there's a lot of things that they could take, but right now I'm going to go Malik Willis at number 2. Maybe a little bit high for him where he is right now, but quarterbacks are just that valuable, and a team like Carolina, like Atlanta, could try to take him at 6 or 8. So if you're the Lions, you can't wait till 32 with Malik Willis, and you need to get him early. Now with the Texans at number 3, I'm going to go with my number 1 tackle in the class, and that's ekwonu. I just think he has so much versatility. He's such a great run blocker, and he still can obviously develop as a pass protector. He's just an absolute mauler. And now with the Jets at number 4, this is a tough choice because there's a lot of good guys on the board. They could go really either way, but I think because there's a couple more tackles that could survive to their next pick, I'm going to go with kayvon thibodeaux. I think he's just an elite player. I think he's kind of fallen down boards for people with prospect fatigue, but he's such a good player, and I think the Jets would be happy to get him at number 4. Now with the Giants at 5, another tough one. I think they're going to go Evan Neal. He's just, a premier tackle in a class, and they need offensive line, so pretty clear. They have Andrew Thomas at left tackle, but they could definitely move some things around so they could get their best 5 on the field. Now with the Panthers at number 6, this is where it gets a little tough because they want a quarterback, but at number 6, I'm not really comfortable taking any of those, any of the tier 2 quarterbacks. So if I'm them, I'm just going to grab Charles Cross to play left tackle. Offensive line's a huge need for them, and I think that would be a pretty good pickup for them at number 6. Now at number 7, the Giants, I think is pretty much a no-brainer. I'm going to grab Travon Walker. Their top 2 needs are now filled. They got tackle, they got edge, and they could still get some more guys late, but I'm pretty happy with both of those. Now at number 8, we've got the Atlanta Falcons, and there's a lot of ways they could go here, and it's pretty tempting. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are pretty tempting here. I'm going to grab Sauce Gardner, though, because that cornerback duo of A.J. Terrell and Sauce Gardner could be elite, and I think that could be a good building block of this new defense. Now with the Seahawks at number 9, they still have a lot of needs, but Kyle Hamilton has fallen so far that I'm going to pick him up. Again, he can do a lot of things. I think him and Jordan Brooks kind of in the box would be a really good pairing, and I didn't even know. I mean, I usually wouldn't have him falling this far, but that's just kind of how it turned out this time. Now at number 10, we've got the Jets again, and I mean, you kind of want to grab Trevor Penning here, and that might be a little bit high for him, but because of the value of tackle, I'm gonna grab him here. Again, a little bit high, I think, for Trevor Penning, but I'm pretty comfortable taking him just because I think he's going to be a really, really good tackle in the NFL. Now 11, we've got the Commanders, and I think they're going to take the first receiver off the board, which I think is going to be Drake London. Definitely could be Garrett Wilson too. Guys that I'm both pretty high on, but I think London, just because of his size and just what he can do as a unique kind of player, I think is going to be valuable to a lot of teams. Now at number 12, we have the Minnesota Vikings, and I think since Derek Stingley is still here, I think they're going to go him. He's questionable with the injuries, but if he can turn into the player that everyone thinks he can be, I think he could be super, super valuable there at 12. Could be a steal. And now we got the Texans at 13. And I think I'm going to go George Karlaftis. I think they need edge. They need a lot of things, but Karlaftis is a pretty safe bet, and I think he can be a solid player for them, just as long, while they start getting this rebuild going. Now for the Ravens, tough one, but they need a lot of things on the defensive line, but I think with Jermaine Johnson still here at 14, I'm pretty happy going him there. Now at 15, we had the Eagles, after that big trade, so they don't have a pick until 18, and with a lot of guys still on the board, I think this is a tough one with Devontae Smith as a receiver, but I want them to get another receiver, and I think I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson here at 15. Pretty good value, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now for the Saints, Another pretty easy one, I think. I think Jameson Williams is going to go here. They need a deep threat to hopefully pair with Michael Thomas if he comes back healthy. So I think they'd be super happy with that. Now the Chargers, they did fix some of their defensive line in free agency. But still, getting Jordan Davis here, I think would be good value, because then you can have a couple good nose tackles that you can rotate through and just really dominate and make that, what was a weakness last year into a huge strength. Now for the Eagles, Andrew Booth sitting at 18, good value. I'm happy with that. And now we are back to the Saints at number 19. And I think this might be a good spot for Zion Johnson to go, as he's a really good offensive lineman, probably a guard. And I think that's going to be a good pick for them. Now the Steelers at number 20. This is another tough one. I'm okay with Mitch right now. So I'm going to grab Tyler Linderbaum and continue to build that offensive line, because I think Mitch, he could bring it back. He's not a complete lost cause. I mean, he took the Bears to the playoffs. Obviously, they had a great defense, and he was kind of a liability. But still, he's a guy that has potential. I mean, he was drafted number 2 for a reason, even if it was a bit high. And I think he could be solid at the next level. Now for the Patriots, they have a lot of needs here, but I just find it hard that they pass on a guy like Treylon Burks. The things that Bill Belichick could do with him and his offense, I think would just be ridiculous, and I think that would just be fun for just about everybody. Now at 22, as much as I hate to see him go off the board before he can get the Chiefs, I'm going Chris Olave for the Packers. Just elite route runner. I think he's one of the best receivers in the class, and for me personally, he's the best receiver in the class, and at least right now. And I think that's great value, and hopefully he can kind of fill that Davante Adams void. Now for the Cardinals at 23, pretty good fit here with Trent McDuffie still on the board. A little low for him. I thought he was usually he goes a lot higher, but just didn't shake out this way this time. Now at the Cowboys at 24, there's some tier 2 edge rushers. You could get ojabo here, but that's just kind of a tough one here, after his injury. And I think I'm going to grab Daxton Hill from Michigan. They have him at safety. I've seen a lot of people have him at corner. They need both, so whichever one he can play, I think that would be, beneficial for the Packers. Now the Bills at 25. Let me see what receivers are still on the board. I'd be happy with some of these guys, but at 25, I'm not sure. So I think I'm going to go corner, and Kaiir Elam is still here, and that's going to be a solid pickup for them. Now the Titans at 27, or 26 rather, could get Dotson. I'm not super high on him personally, so I'm not going to take him here, and I'm going to grab Devin Lloyd. Versatile linebacker, didn't test as well as everyone thought he would, but he's still a good player and still, very draftable. Now Buccaneers, Kenyon Green, pretty easy pick for me. And I think, help Tom Brady and I assume his last season, but I guess we never know at this point. Now for the Packers at 28. Again, I would want them to take David Ojabo, because this is good value for him, but they're in win now mode, and his injury just makes it a little tough to take him here. And they still have some other needs. I'm going to grab Devontae Wyatt. I think that's pretty good value for them, and I'd be happy taking him there. And now with the Chiefs having back-to-back picks, kind of a tough scenario for them, as a lot of players with a lot of, at a lot of their needed positions are gone. But I think they can fill corner a little bit later with a lot of these, these top 4 guys all pretty solid, and even some more down the board. And I might do something a bit unorthodox here. And first off, I'm going to take Christian Watson here at 29. Good player, and definitely high for him. I think that's pretty clear. He could go in the first round, who knows, but I think this is a little bit high for him. But that potential, you're trusting Andy Reid and you're trusting him to develop this guy. And at 30, I'm going to take George Pickens. Again, this is crazy, but I've kind of been thinking about this, and if one of them hits, you have your X receiver for the next, however many years. If both of them hit, you have both of them in Juju and Hardman, and I think that's kind of a ridiculous receiving core. Again, very, very kind of a Madden strategy, but I don't think it is ridiculous, but I still think I think it could be viable, because that's really what the Chiefs need. They can fill corner as they go down the board, because the Chiefs have been historically good at drafting corners down the board. And I think that's just a fun storyline, getting two guys that can come in, be your X, and see how you can use them both, because they're both, ridiculously athletic, big time receivers. Now the Bengals at 31, probably going to be a bit less exciting. They could use corner. I think that's one of their primary needs, and I'm going to get Kyler Gordon here at 31. I think they'd be pretty happy with that. He's a good corner. Maybe, again, a little bit high, but that's really the one thing they need right now. I mean, offensive line, I feel like, has been pretty... They've done a lot with it. And now with the Lions at 32, this is where I take David Ojabo. Excuse me. Lions have time to develop him, and I think he is going to be good for them long term. So, quick recap. We had Malik Willis going high. We had Kyle Hamilton falling. A bit of a receiver run. We started, in the teen picks, as well as some, pretty good players falling. But the big thing, Chiefs taking two receivers, reaching on two receivers probably. So definitely a bit unorthodox, but I thought this one would be fun, kind of especially seeing what the Eagles and Saints do, with the Saints kind of revamping their offense and hoping to build around Jameis while they still have a bit of a window at the moment. So again, thank you for watching, and let me know what you think down below, because I know this one's been definitely interesting. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. We have 7-round mock drafts for every team on the way. So check out yesterday's, check out tomorrow's, all of those. So again, thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Trying to stay corny. And peace.